Morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. Let's call the meeting to order for June 14, 2020 for Polk County in the Regional Health Center, Suite A. At this time, if you could, please mute all your devices. And we'd like to ask, oops, sorry, Sean Ferry, we had a change in who was going to come do the prayer. Sean Ferry with Pine Forest Baptist Church, if you would please lead us in prayer.
Father God, we just praise you because you are an amazing God, and you've done so many incredible things for us, and we thank you for bringing us here this day, and we pray that your will be done. I pray right now that you'll give wisdom and discernment to each of these commissioners, Lord God, and just this time. And I just pray right now, Father God, that your presence will be felt here, and that your spirit will guide every word and every discussion, and that you will just bless this time. We love you, Lord. It's in Jesus' mighty and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, everybody. Okay. Item number 2, public comments. Did we have anyone sign up?
No, ma'am.
Item number 3, informational reports. A, the Polk County Commissioners Court Bobby Smith Memorial Scholarship, which is sponsored by Linebarger, Gogan, Blair, and Sampson. The recipients were from Big Sandy, Trace Flores; from Corrigan Camden, Divine Byers; from Goodrich, Brandon Isaguirre; from Leggett, Addison Henson; from Livingston, Wendy Anguiano; and from Unalaska, Maddie Adams. Are any of them in here today, or are they all on vacation? Come on up and let's get a picture with you. We have a representative here from Linebarger.
Hey.
Come on back here. Come back here. You too. Come on, Jennifer.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. One, two, three. Well, best of luck to you. And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Thanks for showing.
She got all the spotlight today.
That's right.
Okay, B is the Law Enforcement Scholarship, which is sponsored by MTC Corporation, operators of the IAH Secureville Detention Facility. And those recipients that were selected were from Big Sandy, Ethan Murphy; Corrigan Camden, Zachary Purvis; Goodrich, Marissa Olivares; Leggett, Jesse Calderas; Livingston, Jordan Board, and Charles Brooks. LISD had funds left over from last year, so they did 2 this year. And then Unalaska, Michael Arnold. Do we have any of those recipients here today? Okay, we do want to say a huge thank you to MTC, the Management Training Corporation, and also to Linebarger, Gogan, Blair, and Sampson for sponsoring those scholarships. We appreciate them supporting our students. I think we have representatives here today from MTC, and so thank you all very much for your continued support. Thank you. It's hard to get kiddos back up and once school is out. Okay, Adult Protective Services. We'd like to have a proclamation for elder abuse awareness. Do we have anyone here representing them? Yes, ma'am, come on. So we do want to also say thank you to all of those organizations and programs that support and provide services for those people that are in need, our elderly as well as our children. So we need
As you see, purple is the worldwide symbol for elder abuse, and then silver is the Texas color for elder abuse.
Okay, well, come on up here and let's take
And this is
a picture.
Mandy. She's from our board here in the department.
Yeah, none of us know me.
No, not at all.
I have no idea who she is or where she came
She's
from.
from the APS board. She's our representative.
done. Hold on, let me get the proclamation up here for you.
1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, y'all didn't swap my chair, did you?
No, not yet. Just won't know you sit down.
I'll know when I sit down and fall over back.
If your knees on your chin, you know you get the wrong damn chair.
Okay, on our reports also, we have our spotlight on Polk County. This month was Agrilife Extension Office, and so we did put a program up here in front of you all. And since Agrilife could not be here today, he did ask Jennifer to speak about the new project. We have another partnership, which is with Agrilife, and they have planted a garden. And now our senior citizens are able to go get fresh fruit and vegetables when they go to the Senior Citizen Center in Livingston.
Awesome.
Our ambition is to move forward in other areas as well.
I volunteer in the garden and will be sharing on Matthew's behalf today. The Polk County Senior Citizen Community Garden was started during the summer of 2021. The mission of the community garden is to add healthy, fresh produce to the diet of seniors that attend lunch at the Senior Citizen Center and provide education on the importance of a balanced diet and on how to prepare produce at home. The initial startup cost was covered by donations from community members. 6 volunteers help manage the garden by having an assigned day of the week where we oversee daily management, watering, harvesting, weed control, pests, etc. An added benefit is that we gain skills on how to grow vegetables in our own gardens. Produce is harvested 2 to 3 times a week and then is taken over to the Senior Citizen Center where they distribute it. Items that are popular like tomatoes, squash, and cucumbers go very quickly and often there aren't enough to go around. Once a month, the health agent and the ag agent host a lunch and they learn how to cook an easy recipe with produce from the garden. The information on the recipe and how the produce was grown is distributed to the seniors. Let's see. As the garden has become more popular, the need developed for a fence around the garden. The first reason was that produce was being harvested by people who were not registered volunteers and was not being taken to the senior center, the plan recipient as stated in the mission. Second reason is a safety issue. Occasionally a crop aid like fungicide needs to be applied. Some of these products have a pre-harvest interval and need to remain unharvested for an amount of time. The fence ensures only registered volunteers are harvesting produce that is safe and ready to consume. The pictures provided show the garden as well as Matthew with Mark and Diane Langton who helped build the fence and the humidity and rain. Are there any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Appreciate the hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so that takes care of E, which was the construction of the fence, right? Okay, item number 4, old business tabled from the last meeting.
I
with
had
a-
one, I want the public comment.
Oh, you have public comment?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know, Brandon Prescott and myself attended a DECOG meeting the other day, and they finally come up with a method of distribution on our funds. Looks like Polk County would receive $15.5 million in Harvey mitigation stuff. So.
And that's because we have also agreed to participate in the broadband project through the COG.
Yeah, but there's that, but there's a list of all different, the broadband's one other things, but there's a list of all kinds of stuff that can be used for.
Do you want us to,
Yeah.
I'd like to have a copy of that.
yes, do you want us to make a copy for everybody of that?
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that we do have a list of the original, projects for consideration, and so we will give this to Jessica as well, so she can start
Those 3 pages.
briefing
There's
everybody on that.
15.5 million on that, and there's, I believe, 2.5 million, they said that it could be spent in 2 zip codes, 77351 in Goodrich.
Correct. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, item number 4, which we tabled from the last meeting, with the court's permission, I'd like to move that to the end, since it's the same wording workshop that we've been trying to do.
Yeah, on the division.
On the distribution, road and bridge monies. So let's go on to number 5, is that okay with everybody?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so item number 5, new business, the consent agenda. So approved minutes of previous meeting. I would like to put on, add an addendum in here, addendum to B. Addendum number 1 in the amount of $2,504.16. Addendum number 2 in the amount of $103,467.71. Addendum number 3 in the amount of $12,402.59. And addendum number 4 in the amount of $258,584.11. And I do want to make a note on I and J. These are updated price sheets that do not have to be rebid because of the amount that it increases, so there's no rebid necessary. And that is one thing that is just simply verifying for all of us, the constant changes that are going to impact next year's budget.
They're within the 25%.
Yes, sir. They're well within the 25%. And so that doesn't stop you from being able to utilize their services and moving forward. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Is there anything you wish to pull off?
I'll make that motion.
A motion to approve, Commissioner Robinson, second Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye. I thought you were gonna ask a question, Louis.
No,
it's stretching.
Old man stretching. Just be it, Louis.
Time out, time out.
Item number 6, consider approval of personnel matters as follows. Review and consideration of personnel action form requests submitted since the last meeting and review any authorized emergency hires. We had 2 emergency hires, one at the district attorney's office, and the other one was approved by the court, which would be the interim fire marshal. Motion to approve PAS.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Vincent, Commissioner Overstreet, any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 6B, review and consideration of adding a temporary part-time position in the district clerk's office to assist the temporary district clerk. As we have moved forward with trying to relieve some of the COVID backlog, the district clerk's office is obviously also impacted by that. And so we would like to go ahead and move. It will not impact our budget because this will be COVID funds.
So moved.
Commissioner Purvis? Second, Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. C, review and consideration of adding a full-time maintenance worker to Road and Bridge Precinct 2. This request comes from Commissioner Vincent.
So moved.
So
I'll
moved
second.
Commissioner Overstreet, second Commissioner Robertson. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consider request for revisions and amendments to the budget as follows. The FY 2022 budget revisions and amendments as presented by the auditor's office. A copy of the revisions 2022-14 and amendments 2022-14A and B is included for your review.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Purvis, second Commissioner Vincent. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, discuss status of drought index in Polk County and consider any necessary action to regulate the use of certain fireworks for the July 4th fireworks season. For your review, we included a copy of the Texas Association of Counties correspondence regarding the regulation of fireworks during the 4th of July period. If the county's in a designated drought area, so we discussed this with the fire marshal. Courtney couldn't be here today because she had jury duty. We have got to do an order prohibiting or restricting the sale or use of restricted fireworks because it must be adopted before June 15th, according to the state of Texas. So if we are interested in restricting the sale of the skyrockets with sticks, then it has to be done by June 15th. I do have to say that we did also speak to Ricky Holbrook, and Ricky Holbrook said that there's not very high level of, well, he's concerned that.
This week.
Yes, for this week, there's no high level of danger, this week. But he said there's not a forecast for very much rain within the next 7 to 10 days. And so we could potentially go into a difficult situation. So there are no drought conditions currently.
I make a motion, we let them go.
Very well, Commissioner Overstreet, second Commissioner Vincent. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, consider request for capital purchases to be paid from Road and Bridge Precinct 1 fund balance and included on the FY 2022 reimbursement resolution for year-end issuance of legally authorized debt as follows. Road and Bridge Precinct 1, purchase of a used excavator not to exceed $100,000. This comes from Commissioner Roberts.
Motion to approve.
Bill, I was just gonna mention that, we have located, one, and then, so when it's all said and done, it should be about, $28,500, so, under
Oh.
30,000, so.
Very good. Well, you're definitely not exceeding the 100. Okay.
Give you a little flexibility there.
That's right, that's
Yeah,
right.
make it, I'll make
Coach.
it.
Something else.
Motion from Commissioner Overstreet.
Second.
Who's gonna take the second? Vincent?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
28,000.
Motion carries. Item number 10, consider approval for capital improvements to be paid from general fund balance and included on the FY 2022 reimbursement resolution for year-end issuance of legal authorized debt as follows. Courthouse restoration not to exceed $5,730,000. At the meeting on May 24th, the court agreed to fund the county's total portion of the courthouse or a portion of it from the general fund balance and to include up to $5,730,000 on the reimbursement resolution, which this leaves the amount that will not be reimbursed to the county through the tax notes at $2,450,000 and keeps our reserves at approximately 60% of expenses.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Vincent, any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, consider approval to close the FY 2022 reimbursement resolution, finalizing all expenditures to be included for issuance of authorized debt in the 2022 series tax notes, including the auditor's verification of those expenditures, which were previously approved, and including those authorized and pending payment prior to September 30th, 2022, which is the open invoicing or bids. So we included all the details in your packet. Total expenses totaling $5,949,339.04, which was approved by the court to be reimbursed through this issue.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Robertson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, discuss and consider order transferring voter registration duties from the tax assessor collector to the county clerk. We met, Commissioner Purvis and myself met with our county clerk, Shalana Hawk, and Leslie Jones-Burks, the tax assessor collector, to discuss the combining or the moving all of those offices under one office instead of having them split between them. And so Shalana Hawk has graciously agreed to consolidate those duties within her office. I do want to make note of the fact that this will not occur until after we've gotten past the November election, at which time then her office and staff will have an opportunity to start integrating those services into their office. And so that, January, is that when you would like to go ahead and start integrating those? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So a copy of the proposed order and Leslie's email agreeing to this transfer is included for you.
I'll make that,
Go ahead.
I'll make that motion. I think it's a great idea.
And I'll second.
Get it all under one roof.
Yes, sir. Okay, Commissioner Overstreet, Commissioner Robertson, any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, consider appointment of 2 Polk County elected officials to serve on the Deep East Texas Council of Governments Debt Overstreet has decided to move on to the next phase of his life, and actually, we have our upcoming commissioner here. Then we need to have 2 nominees.
I'll say Commissioner Purvis would be
I think the judge and Miss Guyleen would do good. Did I get a second? All right.
Appreciate your service, Tom.
Yeah. It's been a blast. I mean, it's pretty important because if you, ever who takes this position, you need to attend the meetings because that's where the money flows. When there's help out there.
And we appreciate you doing it all these years, and we know Miss
Yeah.
Guyleen and the judge will fall right in there. And
Who's driving?
Not me. They've been teasing him about driving Miss Daisy all these years. It's been great. I just get in the back seat and do a little work.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion
Are
and
you
a
willing to
second.
accept this?
Yes, I will.
thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms.
Yes.
Okay, motion is second, Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Vincent. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, discuss and consider approval of a request for variance from Polk County subdivision regulation design standards as follows. A, the Rocking R RV Park in Precinct 1 has provided an equitable alternative to the requirement that their streets be built to the standard required by section 10.35 DI. And a copy of the proposal is in, the recommendation is also included for your review. The proposal from the developer includes a storm sewer system with area inlets on the upstream side of the road rather than open ditches. So it's commonly accepted design alternative, and it's been recommended for approval of the variance. You need, Commissioner Robertson?
Yeah, I make a motion.
Second.
Commissioner Robertson, Commissioner Overstreet, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, Lagoon RV Park in Precinct 2 has provided an equitable alternative to the minimum requirement street width of 24 feet for all roads per section 10.4A8. This is coming, the copy of the request and the GLS recommendation letter is also included for your review. Per the overall site plan, only the one-way streets will be a minimum of 20 feet wide, and all two-way roads will meet the 24-foot width requirement. Commissioner Vincent?
They're the only variance that they're asking for. They've got a couple of streets that they're wanting to reduce from 24 to 20, but the roads that they're only gonna be 20 feet wide, they're gonna make them one way, so that if somebody parks on the side or something like that, we've still got room for law enforcement, fire department, things like that. So I asked the court to grant the variation.
Very well, that comes from Commissioner Vincent. Second, Commissioner Purvis. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this is a follow-up line item. Consider approval upon conditions met for rejection of the infrastructure development plans as follow. The Rocking R RV Park located in Precinct 1. Commissioner Robertson?
I make the motion, let's go with it.
Okay, motion to approve. Second, Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. B, Lagoon RV Park located in Precinct 2. Commissioner Vincent?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Purvis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 16, authorize Goodwin, Lassiter and Strong to advertise for construction bids on the 2017 GLO DR 4332 for the Harvey program. GLO contract number 20-065-018-C064. GLS has requested the court's authorization to pursue construction bids for this project. A copy of the plans was included for your review. On April 26th, the court approved amendment number 2 to the GLO contract, which listed the total grant award at $995,241 and county funds at $9,980.72 for a total project amount of $1,005,221.72. Any remaining funds, if applicable, will be used to build new roads extending from the existing project, so they become part of that project. Did you want to add anything to that?
No, ma'am.
Anybody have any questions?
I make
to approve, Commissioner Robertson, second Commissioner Purvis. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item number 17, discuss and consider any necessary action regarding the FY 2023 employee benefits. A, the annually determined contribution rate for the Texas County and District Retirements System. A copy of the TCDRS plan renewal was included, so if we make no changes, then the annually determined contribution rate will decrease from 15.46% to 14.22. At this time, we have built 14.53 employee contribution rate into the preliminary budget, because we don't think we can do a whole lot right now with retiree, because we've got to focus on our current employees.
I'm sorry, you said you built in what?
We built in a 14.53 contribution rate into our TCDRS for retirees. It would decrease if we make no changes to what we currently have, okay? If we make no changes to what we currently have, then it would decrease from 15.46% contribution to 14.22. And currently, we have built a budget with the 14.53,
That's actually the average.
the average.
Because you have 3 months at the first one and then 9 months at.
So basically, we would not decrease their benefits, but we would not increase the benefits for retirees at this time. Everyone okay with that?
Everything stays the same.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Commissioner Robertson. Need a second?
Now, this is just for retirees.
Only retirees.
They're not getting any kind of increase.
Yeah, we're not decreasing anything, but we're not providing an increase at this point in time.
Just staying.
Just staying the same.
Stay even.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll say.
Okay, Commissioner Purvis, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, employee health coverage, major medical. If you will look at the information provided, everyone should have a sheet now that has a renewal rate showing you the options. You have our current plan year on there, then the renewal rates, option 1, option 2, and option 3. So this is with the TAC employee benefit pool. They've given us some renewal packets, including the option to renew our current plan, which increases the rates for both the county and the employee dependents. And then at first, they gave us 2 options, and we went back and requested, because one of the concerns in the committee, when we were discussing longevity, every time we're discussing benefits, one of the concerns is always, what is the cost to the employee for providing health insurance for their dependents or for their spouses, either just for the spouse or for the family as a whole, or just their recent, their kiddos. Okay, so if you look at the plan, Golly, do you have one? Yeah. Okay, you should have one that goes out to option 3. Your original packet went out to option 2.
It's a loose page.
Yeah, it should be a Xerox. Okay. So if you look at that, if we renew the current policy, which is no changes to the coverage, the deductible at $1,500 in network, $4,500 out of network. Coinsurance maximums, in and out of network, co-payments, emergency room hospital co-payments are $150, and prescription coverage is $10, $25, $40 with a 0 deductible. we stay with our current policy, the employee premiums will increase from $850 to $914. So that's a difference of not quite $64 a month. The dependent cost to the employee will increase by $93.64 a month for children and almost $117 a month for spouse and $137 a month for family. So I don't focus, we know we're gonna pay for our employees, and so I don't focus on that when I'm looking at it. I look at the renewal rates for what the impact is gonna be directly to our employees. So, option number one, so you have our current plan, and then the renewal rates are next to it. Column number 2 is the renewal rates. Option number one will increase $500 for in-network, $1,500 for out-of-network, and then no changes.
That's on the deductible.
Correct.
Deductibles.
Correct. And then no changes for co-payments, so forth, but the visits will increase by $5. No changes to co-payments for emergency visits, and no changes in prescription coverage. So employee premiums will increase about $29 per month. Dependent costs will increase by $42 a month for children, not quite $53 per month for spouse, and not quite $62 for family. Then you have option number 2. And basically you can see the changes as they transition across. So these are the different options as they're presented. If you look at the rates, if you look at the employee with children or employee with family, you can go across and see what happens in terms of the cost for our employees to provide healthcare for their families and for their children. And then you have the next part down, those are the rates at the top. Then you have the medical plan, which gives you the deductibles, the co-insurance in and out, emergency room. If you'll take a look at that, the emergency room visits remain constant all the way across. The office visits from our current plan is $30 for an office visit. Option 1 goes to $35, and option 2 and 3 go to $40. So those are the costs that would be incurred by our employees.
I see it as the deductibles go up, as less people are gonna seek medical attention. I mean, you go to a $3,000 deductible, that's pretty steep.
Okay, the deductible, first of all, we have approximately 40 employees, I believe, that have either spouse and or children coverage. Now, what we did last time, if you will recall, is that we polled the employees, we asked the employees, and we actually have the employees respond and say which option they preferred.
We plan on doing that again, or do we have time?
We are prepared to do that. We did get this kind of late, but we went ahead and scheduled a meeting to discuss it with any employees that are interested, that would like to discuss it. And I'm perfectly comfortable asking the employees to make a choice, you know?
And I mean, I've done poll mine on it when we got it.
What about the option 3?
Well, we can ask the employees, what are you interested in? The purpose, to me, the purpose of insurance is obviously if you have something horrific that happens, right? And so if the cost for office visits, if the difference in an office visit is gonna be no more than $10, then your daily living is not as impacted with any of these options. Where the impact is going to occur is if you have something major that happens to you. If you have an accident or you're involved in a wreck, you know, that's where the impact is going to occur. That's where the deductibles go up.
So option 3, there would be no increase to the employee.
In option 3, No, sir, there would actually be a decrease in cost to the employee,
But it's the deductible that goes.
but it's the deductible that goes up.
Doubles,
From what it is now.
goes from 1,500 to 3,000.
The in-network deductible is the one that,
The
yes,
out-of-network
it doubles.
goes from
4,500 to 7,500.
Do we know, Judge, if we have a lot of people that stay, what's the ratio of people that stay in network or go out of network?
Now that I do not know. We would have no way of knowing that, because those are personal health choices. That's a health decision,
Yeah, I understand.
and so that would be strictly between them and their doctor. The option 3 does add $100 deductible to prescriptions. But the copay, the copay doesn't change across the board.
Is it deductible per event, or on that prescription plan, or month?
No, that,
It's a
For the
one-time
year.
deal.
yeah, that's a one-time.
Okay.
You spend $100
Once they
and then
spend
it's
$100
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same as the other deductible.
Okay.
And that's,
Should be.
well, that's,
I'll make the motion that we wait and see what the employees.
Okay.
Second that.
Okay, so we will move forward with polling the employees. We have already set up a meeting
That's next
on
Wednesday,
June
yeah.
22nd for the staff, or any of the staff members that are interested. We made it in the afternoon, kinda late, so that anybody that has to drive in or is interested can come.
You're doing that here.
Yes, sir.
What time?
June 22nd at 4
4
p.m.
o'clock. Next Wednesday.
Yeah, we went ahead and scheduled it, because if nothing else, we could share the information with the staff if the court decided they wanted to run it. It's due, this information is due back to TAC on June 30th, so that still gives us time to poll the employees, discuss it with them, and then provide the information back to TAC and approve it at the next board, the next commissioners court meeting. Okay? So the motion is going to be, or the action is going to be to hold the employees, table any action for now, and schedule it for consideration at the next commissioners court meeting.
The information we got didn't have option 3 on it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
No, it did not,
No,
because
that's
we
what I'm
just got
saying.
that.
It didn't have anything.
No, we
on
got it
there.
yesterday, that's why made the copy for you today, because we just
I
got
had
it
a copy
yesterday.
and had done some figuring on mine, and I didn't see it.
No, sir, option 3 was not on, that's why your
Yeah.
board packet says that we requested that TAC provide us with another option, because
Well, option 3 actually only saves the county money, correct?
it does save the county money, but,
Saves the employee money too.
but it saves the
Yeah, but they're
employees'
not
monies
having
too,
On family members,
on family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
family. How many county employees do we have? 270?
between 270 and 280 at any given
I
time.
figured at 275, just round number 275, the increase to stay with the rate that the plan that we have right now will be about $210,000 increase to the county
For the year.
for the year. Taking your monthly amount right there and, multiplying that times 12 times 275. That's how I just used 275. Was about 200.
You said we have about 40 employees that use the family?
There was
Family and spouse.
there was multiple breakdowns, but basically 40 or 50 of our employees take full advantage of the insurance and cover their whole family. So we don't wanna decrease the benefits, ma'am.
I'm sorry, it's broken down between, employee and spouse and employee and family. Most of them are employee and children.
Yeah,
And, for
the employee, only the employee.
To
And
what,
so-
to what the monetary level of,
What do you mean, what's the monetary level?
what's the maximum that will go?
We cover only the employee, no matter what, whatever this court decides to set that cost at, then with TAC, we pay for that person. And then they decide, then the employee decides what they want. Now, it is a little confusing, because if you look at employee with children, okay, you have to deduct the employee off of that cost. Because we're paying the
That's total
employee.
cost, yeah.
Yeah, that's total
That's-
cost right
yeah.
there. That
It's
makes
not
sense?
it's not costing the employee $1,248
No.
$48, and you deduct that
No.
$850 out
You
of it.
take the $850 out.
$398.
Yeah.
Yes. You take
I
the
just-
$850 out. And so, because we are covering that portion of the cost.
I mean, there's not that much difference in 2 and 3, except for the $100 deductible on your medicines.
Yes, sir, that's about the only difference. Now, it would probably be useful if the court would narrow it down, you know, to which options you want us to put out there, for
My
the
only concern was just the
employees.
amount of the deductible.
Huh?
My concern was the amount of the deductible.
Okay, let's see, so the amount of the deductible.
Right now, we're at 1,500, it would jump to 3,000.
If you get over in 2 and 3, it will.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
1 would still increase $500.
Yeah,
Option
the
1.
The deductible increases
Yeah.
no matter what.
And then your
That's what's
copay
raised.
increases on 2 and 3, $5.
Yep. And then 3 is where you end up with that deductible on the prescription plan.
There's, I think you ought to stick with this right here, but you need to explain to them too that this, there's some way to explain to them that this top number is deducted out.
No, we will.
Well, because the first thing they're gonna say, well, this is gonna cost me $1,556 to do my spouse.
No, we
It's
explained
not.
that to them, we explained that to them last time, when we sent it out, we were very,
I don't
we
think they
explained to
heard it.
them. Oh, we will
Yeah,
go
I mean, I
back to it and
understand.
explain it again. So, do you wanna put all 4 out there? Or you wanna narrow it down? It becomes a little bit more
Why don't you just give them the option and show them
Confuse.
everything?
okay. Very well, that's how we will
And
proceed.
it's really truly about them.
Absolutely, it's about them.
It's about our employees.
Yes, no, it's absolutely about them, and that was the whole reason that last year, we point blank asked them. Which one do you want? Because they know more of what they're,
Do we send them out a notification, or how are we gonna do this?
we send them out a notification, invite them, and then.
In
what
mail, through mail, or through office?
We do email, and we send it to every department head as well.
Okay.
And encourage every department head to let their employees know.
Okay.
We can give them this to let them study on it a little bit.
Absolutely,
before.
absolutely, and we will encourage every department head and every elected official to do the same thing. That's what we did last time. And we did have good participation last time. You know, in terms of people voicing their opinion. And when we send it out also, we do send out the email that shows the information, but breaks it down so that it's more understandable for the employee. Because it is confusing when you look at it and you see the $18.28 a month, if you don't know that $850 is already out of the mix. Okay? There. Okay, so I need a motion to table for next one and to go ahead and poll employees and move
So
forward with the department.
Second.
Commissioner Purvis, Commissioner Overstreet, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now let's back up to number 4. Oh, goodness.
lost.
Okay, Carrie, do we have the breakdown?
This one.
This is in everybody's.
Okay,
But I still, my mileage still ain't right, I ain't gonna get my miles.
Did you know?
Hey, someone's got other things to decide right around clock miles.
okay. We tried our darndest to figure out what was utilized 10 years ago.
Nobody.
20 years ago.
20 or 30 years
Yes,
ago.
We were way back,
10, 20.
before my time,
Whatever.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
General fund.
So what we've done is we've given you kind of a semi-formula. The current mileage, until we get precinct 3's completed. But at this time, the current mileage that we have, it has 114.6476 for precinct 1. 156.3383 for precinct 2, 288.7514 for precinct 3, and precinct 4, 300.3530. And then wooden bridges, precinct 1 has 0, precinct 2 has 4, precinct 3 has 15, and precinct 4 has 19. Then the new mileage, we showed you the adjustments that were made. So if you took the base, and you said, okay, the original, the base is gonna be 75% of the money. Because everybody has to be able to function in their office. And then you take, and you say that the mileage, the 20% of the mileage will be distributed, on the money, 20% of the money will be distributed based on mileage, and then 5% of the money will be distributed based on wooden bridges. Then you have the breakdown of basically what would occur, which actually pretty closely reflects what you currently have. So you would have, and you would have to decide where that 1% would go. But of course, we need to make sure first we have all the mileage correct. So basically, the breakdown utilizing that formula would be 21.4% for precinct 1, 22.9% for precinct 2, 27.4% falls under precinct 3, and 28.2% falls under precinct 4.
Question,
Yes, sir.
how many, this is to Bill and Tommy, how many of these 15 and 19 are on the tax dot off-grid system program?
I've got one coming up that I know of. I see it right now. We don't really know until they,
Until they show
until I
up.
read it in the Enterprise that I'm getting a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one that's in the works for 2025 or something like that, but you can't count that now. That's the next one I got.
I mean, and we just got precinct, 3 and 4 just got 5, 6, 7 bridges replaced, so that's taken off. That's that's prior to this number here. I was at the 42
So those
bridges.
bridges aren't included in this?
I mean.
No,
I was- I
anything
was-
next stuff is already done, we're not gonna
Yeah,
include.
no, they're not included in this number.
No, we're trying to make this as accurate as possible.
This is not included.
That's what I say, but I don't know if I'm gonna have more miles or less miles when I get through, 'cause I'm taking some roads off.
I've
that
got
we've
more, I've got more miles than what's on here.
But I mean, there's a lot of roads
Okay,
in
but
this,
did
in
you
this,
provide
in
us
this
with
book.
miles?
But
I brought it to the last.
if you look at, in that book, I've got roads on there that we ain't never touched, that they say are county roads. I'm going
We
through, I'm taking all that out.
willed every,
Okay.
I willed every road we have.
So, can we agree on the formula?
Maybe.
I think it looks great myself.
I think the
Precinct 2 is
formula
staying
is
the
fair,
same.
that's all
You're the
I'm
one
worried
that's-
about.
Yeah, but I've lost, you know, that lost some roads, but because of population.
Yeah, no,
It's
absolutely. So all I'm concerned about, me being selfish this way, all I wanna know is how am I gonna break down the money for the budget?
Well,
And
I'm
then it's
sympathetic.
you all's responsibility to get accurate information that will go into the formula.
I'm sympathetic to the fact that people gotta get to and from cross wooden bridges. I get that. Just,
It's 5% of the money.
what's that?
It's only 5% of the money.
I understand. But I think one of the things that me and Miss Colleen have to fight all the time too, with the majority of the population being our precinct, is just the upkeep of the existing roads.
No, and I'm not denying that. And there are people that don't live in your precinct that are gonna drive back and forth across those roads as well. So that's
Especially on
why,
holiday weekends,
And that-
the greater Onalaska area, which encompasses, a fair amount of percentage of precinct two, can grow
yeah, no, you get
30,000.
you get hammered. May,
Yeah.
June, July, and August, and we get that. But
Well-
part of it was, that's why we put 75% in the base. Because then that is just equally spread out, because if you went by mileage, okay, if you put more money in the mileage, or you put additional, percentage in the bridges, well then, that would really reduce the amount of money that precinct 1 and precinct 2 would receive. That's why you only have 20% of the money.
Speak up, Miss Colleen.
I agree, I mean, that we need to, even though we're having less people and lost some people, we need to.
All I need
But
is a
I feel for
formula.
these guys too.
All I need is a formula, so if it's 75%, there are people that drive back and forth in any precinct. So if it's 75%, not taking into consideration what is asphalt, what is dirt, which one gets, has a maintainer on it every other week, which one doesn't. All I need is a formula
I got all that information.
that would be fair, that will be fair and equitable.
Our deal in precinct 4 right now is roads that were just, they haul timber out, it's minimal maintenance, we didn't have to do a whole lot to. Now there are 40 lots down there with 40 homes being built on it. So, I mean, we're being faced with that stuff. Y'all have already,
Yeah, we're
y'all
already
pretty.
encompassing that.
Y'all are subdivisions with chip and seal roads, and we never even, these roads, they just go down there and buy a piece of land, and they say, well, we're dividing that up, and they do, and these roads aren't even rocks yet, and stuff like that, it's just minimal.
We don't have that many chip and seal roads.
Minimal.
Yeah, we don't have that many, unlike the myth that is out there, we don't have that many.
That's all we
people
hear. If we could do
that-
like 1 and 2, we'd be minimal milk, be in good shape.
Yeah, we are
All the money
definitely
gets spent out of the lake.
Yeah.
instead of reactive. However,
right.
with that being said, the myth that's out there that all subdivisions participate in donating money to the coffers for their roads is not true. We only have a few that do that.
That's correct.
Some of them are still charging fees that, the fee amount is what they were incorporated with back in the 70s.
We have zero.
Oh, that's-
Yeah.
Matt, $10 down, $10 the rest of your life.
So, we
Okay,
fight, we
it's-
fight that as well as the loggers as well.
Okay, so this is my issue. Everybody has their own unique set of
Situation.
circumstances, okay? Everybody does. So we went back and looked at the numbers, and as best we could fit, okay, going backwards, we took the numbers and then we went backwards. As best we could fit, this would be a formula that would provide you with the monies, woo, with the actual monies, that chair's gonna go.
That was my spine.
With the actual monies.
Listening up.
So, I need to know this for budgetary purposes.
I think it looks pretty good myself, and I'm not saying that because we're on the top end of the money, but the division part of it, how else are you gonna do it? If your road miles increase or decrease, or whatever your has increases, you at least have something to work with to adjust.
That's my point. That is my only point.
I mean, whichever way it goes.
And
If you've got more miles, and that just gives you a little bit percentage of it, we're gonna divide it.
Well, mine would have stayed the same, but I would have increased my miles exponentially.
okay, so here's the thing, at the wooden
How many miles
bridges,
did it increase?
Right here, it's got 156.33, which
you're
gonna
adding
increase it by 6 or 7 miles.
6 or 7 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between them.
Well, that's my point on why we need completely accurate mileage. We need completely accurate mileage, but if we agree that 75% will go on the base, 20% will go on the mileage, and 5% will go on the bridges, well then, that gives us a starting point. That's where I need for everybody to agree. I need you to agree on the formula, and then you provide the correct information for what goes in those slots.
What's the deadline on this, Judge?
Well, I gotta have it for budget reasons.
ASAP.
That's right.
Look, I know I'm not gonna be here the next time, but I still wanna leave my people in a good way. It's important to me to leave them in a good situation.
Well, it's important to me that everybody get left in a good situation. So I just need a formula that tells me what to base the budget on.
Do you wanna wait till you get your?
I mean, no, I don't, I mean, you know, I don't know. That's probably about as fair a one as we can come up with, I guess.
The only thing you can adjust right here is the 5% base on wooden bridges.
And
Really,
that-
I mean, that's really,
And that can be modified from one year
Yeah.
to the next, that's my
Yeah.
point. My point is that you say 5%, well then, as those bridges
Come off.
then those numbers are gonna shift and change. When we reach that point where there are 0 wooden bridges, well then all of that will go into mileage.
I won't none of us be here, we ain't worried about that.
Well, I'm
So
not
the
gonna be here, so it
5%.
won't matter to me.
Judge, riddle me this. So the 5% that we're talking about equates to roughly how much money? I know when we talked about doing a 1% tax increase, it was like $293,000.
yeah, but
That's the total.
No, this is 5% on the road and bridge budget, on the
Right.
monies, on the
Well, I
distribution of
get that.
monies.
So
It'll be
just
about
based,
roughly $250,000.
250,000 on 5.
Yeah. That's just off the top of my head.
What do you think?
I don't know, cause I'm not
You
looking
didn't
at
figure,
the-
you were figuring?
Do I do the math in my head?
so.
5% of 5 meetings, 250,000. Our total budget roughly is 5 point something, I don't know.
Okay, so take 5
So Bill
million.
would stay roughly the same and I would stay the same. Or is it
Roughly,
two?
Yeah, it'd be about,
right there, but y'all ain't got my numbers yet.
I need your numbers by next week, prior to the next
We'll have,
meeting. But if you all will agree to this formula, then at least I can start moving forward in terms of how we set things up.
So basically, precinct 1's gonna lose some, Tommy's gonna gain around a little over 200,000.
Yes, sir.
How far will they go on these bridges that are up there, Tommy?
You could redeck probably 4 or 5 if there's no structural
not
problem.
big ones.
Shorter
Will
bridges.
that get, I know what it costs to do a 20-foot or less redecking, restringing. How many of these bridges would that take care of for you, roughly?
200,000, you see it?
A little over?
A little over 200,000. It won't be 200,000.
He's not gonna get all 200,000.
I ain't gonna get 200,000.
Yeah, he's not gonna get it all. You still have him, and you're still gonna get some of
You
it.
don't get a piece of it, I get a piece of it, he get a piece.
So you getting a piece of it
Mine
too.
stays the same. Mine
You
stays the
got
same.
4.
Not with the bridge.
Yeah,
You get a piece of the bridges.
yes, you're getting a piece of
You
the
get
bridge. The
4,
only
you got
person-
4, you get 11% there.
The only one that's not getting
It's her.
any bridge is
It's Guyleen.
Is Guyleen.
How you feel about that?
Well, I can't, like wooden bridges, so.
She can't build
It is
them all.
what it is. I'm not gonna get $250,000
No,
to work on my bridges above my other budget.
no.
It's just gonna be, it's just gonna be incorporated into it. Might be $25,000.
Figure that real.
There's
What you-
38,
what you-
there are 38 bridges.
So what you figured?
We could figure half of it, so it'd say 50 on it. And whatever the end total ended up being.
But it ain't gonna be, it's not gonna be no $250,000. It might be $25,000.
No.
Huh?
There's 38 bridges, so.
Well, then you don't have a dollar amount of how much money's gonna be figured in for bridges at 5% of the budget.
No, I don't, and that's my point. I don't-
5% of the budget, if you based it on that, I'm gonna get
I'd like to
2.5 of
see
that 5%.
Huh?
I would like to see those numbers.
I don't have any way of knowing. I mean, all we can do it is base it on past. I don't have any way of knowing that until we get our.
That's the percent of the budget you would get. That's the percent I think that's right. I don't want to really losing anything where you going 8/100ths of a percent. Miss Galene loses. It's almost the same as what we got.
It is almost
Except
exactly
Miss
what we got.
Galene.
We had to go backwards,
You know, but Miss Galene is the one that's.
which makes
Taking the
sense
hit.
because she has decreased mileage, and I get the whole argument over this road versus that road, but she has decreased mileage because of the increased population. She has decreased mileage and no wooden bridges.
Does it have to be done right now, or can it be
It's
done later, when we
ironic.
get closer to the numbers to see?
Oh,
how-
no. Once we start talking numbers, I just need a formula. I went backwards from the formula, because what will happen is that all of this mileage, if y'all bring me the true mileage, right, for each group, then we will know what the distribution needs to look like for everybody.
It's ironic, but 20 years ago, this is what it looked like. Except precinct 3 had 28%. And then when the House Bill 1117 came in and we got the accurate amount of mileage, or what they called accurate mileage, and that's when we went up 27, and they went 23.
Yeah.
See, so you're not losing anything. You'd be at 23%, 22.9, that's 23%, which is where you are right now.
Almost,
Huh?
almost.
No, right there.
22.91.
No, 22.9, so you would be at 23%.
We're gonna round it
Because
up.
we would round up, okay? And so you would have 28%, 27%, and the question becomes, what do you do with those 0.4%? Because you're
Give them
gonna,
to me.
I was gonna say, I can take.
or Guyleen can take it.
Well, that's why.
Okay, so if you did that, then it would be 22%, 23%, 27%, and 28%. Which basically reflects what's been happening the last few years. We just need to have a logical formula that shows you, okay, as these bridges go off, well then, those numbers should change.
And in 10 years, they'll probably give it in heels back to you.
There,
Then you'll have to do this again.
then she'll have to do it again.
That's probably how it's gonna happen.
Possibly.
That seems to have been the subdivision that gets flipped back and forth over the years.
Back to my
With that-
formula.
Depends on how many full-timers you have out there in 10 years.
And the full timers are moving,
It's not working. Oh.
Okay, it's really Milt's call right now, because he's the one that said he wanted to get his mileage.
Well, let's agree to the formula, then y'all can give me all the numbers you want me to put in here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's gonna change it. It's a good formula. The only thing gonna change is your road mileage.
Well, I'll make the motion for.
I'm not sure we want to round our numbers.
Go with the formula.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if we're gonna want to round our numbers
think-
though.
I think
Well,
we
we'll
had a
figure that
second
out.
over here.
Once we figure out the
Yeah, we need to
exact
round 'em up.
amounts, then we will
I don't know
round.
about
We'll talk about it.
Round them up.
I have a motion to approve the
And a
formula.
second over here.
And a second, Commissioner
that. Just
Overstreet.
proving it with rounding or without rounding?
All,
Just
hey,
the formula.
it's just the formula right now. We will figure out that total later. Right now, I just need the formula.
27.44%.
That's it.
Then I'll take my 28.23%.
That's it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm not gonna run, I don't want to be shortchanged.
Thank you, thank
I gotta
you.
take
Hey, y'all have a formula now. Gary can.
That's all
figure
Terry
it
and I
out.
want. We just need a formula so we can figure this out.
Gary?
Okay, Commissioner Overstreet.
Motion to approve, motion to approve. Motion to adjourn. Excuse me.
Commissioner Purvis, what time is it now, folks?
11:06.
Very well.